Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A quick update on the 1993 Lexus SC300. Just a quick update, what all I've done to it since I've had it for a couple of months. Okay, well, there you go. It's got stickers. It's got the classic plates on it now. It's on the road. This is where I'm torn on this car just a little bit. Like, put new tires on it. My thought process is this. This car has 151,000 miles on it, right? Here, let me back up a little bit. This car has 151,000 miles on it, which might seem like a lot for some cars. But for the Lexus, especially a 93, which is now it's a classic car, as you can see. Got the classic plates. Put the emblems all on it. I think we probably pretty much covered some of the things I've done. But let's take a look at, hey, I need to warm it up for a minute. That's how the inside's looking. Not too shabby at all. This door hinge needs to be replaced. The inside actually cleaned up pretty good. It's still a little bit dusty. Sorry, guys. There we go. Oh, and that is not flat. Okay, there we go. Come on. Alright, so yeah. I'm going to pop the trunk, pop the hood. We'll take a look at the engine. I mean, that's a cold start. I haven't started this car in at least, I don't know, a week or two. So it needs a fan shroud. This piece right here, I was getting ready to tune this car up to give it a full tune-up. And this piece right here was disintegrated. Hell, here's the old one right here. Here's the old one. And you can see daylight through it, so there you have it. Ordered another one of these guys on eBay. And of course, all of the stuff to give it a tune-up, which it needs. It's running fine. But it does need a valve cover gasket, spark plugs, cap and rotor, spark plug wires. And then you think to yourself, the car runs good, right? Well, why not just turbocharge it? Pop the front bumper off, pull the oil pan off, pull all of this stuff off. And I think my train of thought with that is, the car runs great. Again, it needs new struts. We're going to put new struts, so we put coilovers. Already put new tires, but it has the original wheels. I figured if anything, there'll be a good set of takeoffs that I'll have if we do put rims on it, and we do put a set of coilovers on it. But I mainly just needed to let it run for a couple minutes. And you can see, man, it's not getting hot. Oh, I need to put gas in this damn thing. It's almost out of fuel, fellas. I'll only let it run for a minute. But I just put it didn't have certain badges on it, so I ended up putting badges on it. And we'll talk. Oh, okay, I'll hold this with my hand for a second. This is a prop stick. Okay, so that tells you that I ordered new struts for this dude to hold it up. But here's a new valve cover gasket. Here's a new mast for the antenna. I just have to take this guy out. You know what I mean? And put a new chingasa in it. And that's that dude right there. We got new NGK spark plugs, a new cap and rotor. Put basically all new bulbs in it. And voila, I got lucky on this dude right here and got the driver's door hinge. I just need to put it on there. There's my Velcro intake gasket and new taillights. But there's the trunk of junk. which I'm sure there's a few other things but there's the eBay Motors shipping department in the trunk. I don't know. What do you think about the taillights? I like them. I mean, they say like it's a sin or whatever. Man, it's a sin. The taillights that were in it were falling apart. And that's the same with the headlights. The headlights work, right? So my thinking is to get it all tuned up and running the way that it is right now and drive it a little bit. Put a few miles on it before I spend probably $500 on all new lights in the front. Before I spend, man, you can go the cheap route on some coilovers and, man, they're just not going to last. So you really don't want to skimp on those. So that's what do you like? Probably $800 or $900 for a good set of coilovers for this car. And there's a friend driving by waving at me. Okay, as far as the interior goes, I would probably go ahead and get these seats redone. But as you can see, they're not torn up or anything. There's nothing. There is one little tear right here. I'll take that back. But you could put just some of the front seat covers on it. I put a set of mats out of another Lexus. Took this door panel all apart and put it halfway back together right where people had just been yanking and cranking on it. You know, some of the little trim pieces and things. I need to turn this off before it runs out of fuel, man. I mean, the sunroof works. The power windows work. The one thing that this whole little center right here, the LCD screens do not work. However, I couldn't get the radio to power up, but the air conditioner works. So I started to charge the AC and ran out of Freon. And you don't really need it's kind of cool. Not really hot, so you don't really need your AC right these days. So that's my thinking on it. I put new rotors, new slotted and drilled rotors, and new calipers in the back on both sides, and put new brake pads all the way around on this car. Other than that, it has some little honeydews that need to be done. Like the window tint needs to come the rest of the way off. You can, if I'll show you from the inside. You can see it's kind of cloudy, and where they tore all the old window tint off, and it's still got the haze left. It's a nightmare to get off. But I've just detailed it, vacuum it, shampoo it, detail it, vacuum it, shampoo it, give it a little wipe down, and it actually turned out to be a pretty nice car. I think 151,000 miles on it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's the latest and greatest. Oh, I do also in the trunk have a transmission filter, transmission pan gasket, and the 3 different little servos that go into the transmission if needed. Because another thing that I did notice is that when I take it down the road, I have to shift it manually. And it does shift and it does pull in all the gears and runs fine, but it will not downshift on its own. And the overdrive light flashes. So I'll look into it. And because it's a 1993, so it's not an OBD2 car. I'm sorry guys, I'm a terrible cameraman, but there's a reason that I do this. And the main reason that I do it is because I've always wanted some nice things, and I'm pretty mechanically talented. And if you can buy something that is maybe on the upswing of value like this, and you're pretty mechanically talented, I don't think you can go wrong, because I don't need it to drive to work. I have a work car. That's my 1999 Lexus RX300. It does have 200,000 plus miles on it right now, all-wheel drive. I use the crap out of it off-road every single day. So with that in mind, I think the best point of action with this little guy is to Go ahead and put the new valve cover gasket on it, clean it all up before I jump right into doing the turbo or anything like that, which it's probably just a great car the way that it is. And I think the fact that its resale value may be a little bit better if I just tweak everything, put the new door hinge on it, service the transmission. The headlights are definitely going to replace the headlights if it turns out that the mechanical part of this thing, it's great. And I will change the fluid in the rear end. I need to do that in the transmission and look into the reason why it's not downshifting. And I think it may be the servos or whatever that I'm calling them. They're not servos. They're some kind of little actuators, lockup kit that goes into the transmission. So I think if I get that all taken care of mechanically, get the car where I'm comfortable driving it from Houston to Dallas and back, at that point, I will go ahead and upgrade the suspension with coilovers, regardless, with some good coilovers, rather than the original struts that are on it. Replace the headlights, and probably give it, there's no major damage. The other quarter panel, the passenger side quarter panel, needs a little work on it, which means two things. A, why not just replace both and put a wide body on it and the front fenders, which is not that difficult to do. Or do a little bit of body work on the other side and give it a nice little paint job. So however it goes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. And that's how, you know, I was taught the wrong way to buy a car was to go knock on someone's door and buy a car that's sitting on blocks in their yard for $200. And now, if you actually have a little bit of money and a little bit of mechanical ability, you can take a car that was getting ready to go to the scrapyard and turn it into something presentable. So with that, I leave you. You'll have a badass evening and an even better tomorrow. Rob Daily. Peace.